bro. Oh my gosh. Um.
bro. What, me a light gun or something, bro?
Oh my gosh. But no. Where was?
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah. Talk. We have a drawback for the story. So we're in
Mm,
Priory. We're on Com
mm,
Health doing work, right? Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I remember we were due, like, say we were due to leave officially, like maybe in Saturday or something like that, or maybe Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I had like a family thing, like a relative was coming down, so I actually wanted to go up a little earlier. So then I basically was like, okay, how am I gonna get there? So maybe I can. I didn't drive then, so I was like, yo, maybe I can take a Nutsford. So I remember.
Mm-hmm. And we spent the day in Ochi. We were chilling in Ochi.
Oh yes, we
This was
went to like
before
the
Nutsford
beach.
moved from
We
Draxall.
went to the beach.
Yeah, we're at the
Yes,
beach. We went to Margaritaville.
yes. So
Mm-hmm.
we went to the beach. We were chilling, had a nice day. Or some of our
Mm-hmm.
brethrens and whatever. Big up, who is it? Like Troy and Chateau.
And
Yeah, big them
Chateau.
up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember after we went from it. I remember I almost even missed it. Like it was kind of like last minute too. I almost missed the bus, but we reached
Yeah.
there. You dropped me off, and I said, mad. And then I went on a bus, but then I was like, when you sit on the bus, they check you. I remember you're supposed to like go on and then give them your ticket, but like I went on and then it's like no one. I don't think like so you're supposed to have someone that checks your ticket, but I don't think anyone was there or something like that. So it's like I just went on to the bus or whatever. And then I remember I sat down and it's like I just pulled up my phone and I was like watching some sort of show or some anime that I was into. Maybe I don't remember what it was at the time. And then I was just watching my anime with my headset, had it plugged in, and I was just, zoned out. And then it's like at one point I remember looking out and I was like, yo, like this I feel like this not so familiar. But I mean I guess I don't drive there that much. So I was like, I probably just don't know the place. Like, let me just go, man. I mean, I had the ticket and it was at that exact time. 'Cause remember, there was only one bus there at that time, I think. And
It was in the
yeah, and it was in
night.
the night too. And I was like, yo,
It was the last
yeah. So I was
bus.
like, okay, let me just go on. And then it's like two twos. I started realizing, I'm like, yo, this really feel like this isn't the right place. Like, what? And then we end up, and then I think they started like making an announcement about. Remember, I'm supposed to be going Kingston, and they started say something about like, what's the name of the? I'm trying to remember the name of the depot down there.
It was Falmouth,
Mm,
wasn't it?
I don't think the name is Falmouth. Pier One. It's the Pier One, and then I was
Ah,
like, what do you mean Pier One? Like, I'm supposed to be going Kingston. Like, what? What?
yeah.
And then we ended up pulling in, yo, and I was like, yo, I fully went on the wrong bus. And it's like, it was late at night, bro. Like, I don't know, 10
This would
o'clock,
have been like
11
maybe
o'clock,
10.
close to
Yeah.
midnight. And I was just like, holy crap. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even have that much
So
money,
yeah, talk to
too.
the people them.
And then,
So you
yeah,
did
so it's
talk to
like
the
I
people
came
them.
off the bus. And I was just, because I was like, well, you can't stay on the bus. And then it's like I remember going up to the security dog and or not the security, like the bus driver, and I was like, yo, I'm pretty sure I was like, yo, I think I went on the wrong bus. And then the man
Mm-hmm.
kind of start cussing up, bro, because it's probably because I think the thing is he should have checked my ticket. And then the man was like
Yeah.
cussing and cussing. And I was like, yo, I'm just like back then I was like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Like I'm fully kind of like freaking out. I'm like, yo, what the heck? I remember having to like call my parents and then I'm like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Mobay. Oh, and then trying to remember. I remember like I have this cousin who actually lives in Mobay, and then
Mm-hmm.
they were saying, maybe we could actually arrange for you to stay. But then when I think I spoke to the Knutsford people, and then it's like they were like, okay, so the problem was there was no other bus leaving out there. They're like, yo, the next bus is going out maybe 5 o'clock, and this is probably like close to midnight or 11 o'clock. They're like, yo, you're gonna have to probably stay there because it don't make sense. Because it might be hard next, to go to reach the cousin and then drive back and all that stuff, and then they'd have to wake up really early. It might have been all 4 o'clock. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they arranged for me to like. I had to literally sleep in the depot.
Yeah.
I had to sleep, and I don't even think I really got any sleep that night. 'Cause obviously, it wasn't like, it's not like they have, some nice beds and cushions and pillows. Like,
hmm
it's like,
You slept on a chair.
yeah, or like some kind of bench or something. So it wasn't it wasn't comfy. I don't think I got any sleep that night, bro. And then I remember, I
Jado.
guess, waking up the next morning. They got the bus for
hmm
me, or there was a bus there, so like I boarded. I was probably one of the first people on the bus. And then I remember
Yeah.
it was so funny too. On the way back to Kingston, I remember this was like a really long ride because I'm literally Mobay to Kingston. They were like,
hmm
they made an announcement. They're like, "Is Matthew Preston on the bus? Is Matthew Preston on the bus?" And then, like, they come up to me and stuff, and I'm like, "Yes, I'm here." Oh, okay. And then, like, I remember they were like
Jado.
giving I think my parents updates, like saying, "Yo, he's here" and stuff. Because I mean, I guess they were nice about it. And the thing is, they
Yeah.
never charged me to.
hmm
To their credit, they never charged me
Okay.
for the back fee and stuff. And I think maybe, I'm trying to remember, I got
hmm
like a snack or something too, something like that. Like,
You got jerk chicken. I remember
oh
this.
yeah,
This was high on your priority
yeah,
list, bro. I remember I was there like, this man is in Mobe. What the
yeah.
heck?
Because I
It's like, it's
remember I
cool, bro. I
called
got
you
jerk
guys,
chicken.
and I'm like, guys, I'm in Mobay.
Mobe.
And then they were like, "What?"
I was like, what?
Yeah,
Because we were probably still in Ochi, bro. We went back super late. We were just chilling in
yeah,
Ochi for a while.
bro.
We were just like going to different places. We're on the beach at one point in the night and everything. And I get this call, like the man's like in my bay. I was just like, brother, what? Don't you have a family function?
Yeah.
Did you actually end up going to the family
Yes,
function?
I remember that I probably
Oh,
reached
okay.
back. I don't think I got any sleep. As I said, don't think I got any sleep because the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, I think the night before. I remember the night before we
Mm-hmm.
stayed up super late because we had that presentation that we did
Yeah.
obviously last minute, as every student does. Like literally the
You
night
know,
before we
we
stayed
stayed
up.
up until like
I don't even think
4 a.m.
yeah. I don't think we slept really, bro. Like probably like an hour that night before, and then
Yeah.
to like for me to, I was
Mm-hmm.
like so tired after that, bro. And but I still ended up going to the family
Yeah.
function. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look at the bright side. I had a really good story to tell them. I was like, guys, I visited my bay.
Big up nuts for they should sponsor us because of that. Big up nuts
um,
for though. Big up, big
so
up.
yeah, that was, I guess, the first time at that. I think that was the first time I went on a nuts one. Luckily, the second time
Mm-hmm.
I did end up going to my bay, but this time it was on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay,
actually
okay,
went to
that's
the.
good.
What's cool? Yeah, I didn't know this before. Before I did it, like they have a depot at the Mobe Airport. That's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
smart. Like, that's genius.
yeah. It's brilliant actually. Cause I didn't know that until last year. Same flight. I made a friend on the flight, and she said this was her second time or third time coming to Jamaica. And I was just like, but she said she needed to go to Mobay, and we are landing in Kingston. I was just like, but how you going to do that? Do you have another flight there? She's like, no, we ordered on Knutsford. I was just like, wow, look at that. You can do that. You can just order
That's
the
pretty.
the
That's
ride. That's
brilliant, bro. That's
brilliant.
brilliant. And as I said, it's a pretty good ride. Like, AC and stuff. You have like a
No, it's
charger.
very comfortable.
Yeah.
hmm
So.
Now, one thing I rate though is, do you know that they also offer like car rentals? Like, let's say I'm going to Mobe for the day, right? I think I'm not sure which part of Nuts. I have not looked at Nutsford, to be
Mhm.
honest. I should. I'm not sure what the specific service is called, but if you want like your own car just to rent for the day, you take your Nutsford. I'm in Kingston. I take my Nutsford because I'm doing business in Mobe. Reach Pier One,
Mhm.
then just hop straight into a car rent for the whole day.
Well, listen, we spoke about like the tourism and stuff like that, but remember, they don't even just. It's not just tourism and stuff too. Like, even like
Mm-hmm.
um domestic stuff.
The
The courier
courier
service, yes,
service.
but even domestic stuff too. Like, yeah, I guess domestic tourism, but even that, like, something you mentioned, like, they do. It's not even just tourism. So they have things like limos and stuff like that, and cars, other things like that that they will rent. They can rent cars to you sometimes, and I think they'll also like allow you to have drivers. So it's like, oh, if you want to go to this wedding or stuff like that, you can. Knutsford can
Mm-hmm.
provide a driver with a car and all that stuff for you, and bring you guys to that wedding or to that function, graduation, stuff like that. I think that's part of the Knutsford Connect thing, so that's cool too. So even if they didn't have tourism and stuff, they can still make money from that. And then, um, one of the nice things about it to look at the top 10. It's a very tightly held stock. The top
Mm-hmm.
10, I'm trying to remember how much it is, but I definitely think it's over 90% of the company. Like
Mm.
they own a lot of the company. Like it's the shares are very scarce. So if there's possible demand coming in, as people might want the stock because they're expecting a lot of profits, they're thinking that the view on Nutspot has changed. Like they're thinking, yo, this is a great company. Like another thing, they haven't paid us a dividend in a really long time too. So like if
Mm-hmm.
people's view of Nutspot changes, that they're like, yo, this company is a banger company. Um, they might want to buy more of the shares up, and if there's not that many shares on sale, they're gonna have to buy it up at a higher price. So I think up to
Yeah.
November, the top 10 owned 93% of the company.
Mm.
That's
That float
that's
is pretty
pretty,
small then.
yeah.
That
Because
stock
I
can
mean, even
fly.
look at the queue
Mm-hmm.
now. Let me see. Today
Let's check it.
there are, let's see.
The bike units are
Yeah,
hot
that's the
still.
thing. So like, remember
Sell 1,000 units
when you're buying things like
and
this,
you halt the price.
that's the funny, like the funny part about stocks like this. Like you look at it, you can easily send it to $10, or like you could halt it down easily. But the thing is, the lowest you can buy it for right now. Like you look how wide the spread is. Like the highest buy right now is 10.62. The lowest sell is 12.47. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you want like say $500,000 worth of nuts for you, buying it up to 12 like 50. If someone
Mm-hmm.
wanted $1 million, or even like say like there's only about $3 million in the queue, and that's up to like 15. So it's like if the market actually starts to like this, starts to see, yo, tourism companies or tourism related companies and stuff like that might benefit a lot from the high tourism demand, the strong profits that they might expect from
Yeah.
them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that will be, and then I don't think this might be like the lie I want to believe. I don't think this is actually gonna happen, but they have actually split the stock before. They split it maybe like 20s, so 2017 or 2018. I don't necessarily think they'd split it now. It's just because like when I look back, like back then, it was very illiquid. Like barely any shares were trading. Was
2017,
2017?
yeah.
Let me see. And then
May.
back then, the
I
price to
can
look
see
at it,
it.
$50, $60, $40. Like barely any units used to
Mm-hmm.
trade then. Um, yeah. I mean, I think it would do good for the stock price if they were to split it, but
True.
um, yeah, I doubt they'd split still. But
Mm. Why not? Suppose them want to raise more money. So they split and then say, yo, they want to have a new, they want to buy some real estate in another place, or they want to expand like their Mandeville branch or something like that. They could. Or expand their fleet, and instead of these single ones, they get more double decker buses to can hold
yeah.
the. Yeah, there's so many things I could do still.
Hmm.
So in fact, when were they listed?
Uh,
When is their tax break up on all of those different things? Because
but the
let's
thing is
see,
that they
what's their
could
pros?
remember this. I think they can raise how much? How much money could they raise right now with staying on the junior markets? I think they still have a leeway. Like a decent.
I, I think so too.
They can
Can check their maybe
raise.
their share cap.
Uh, they see they only raised 50 million.
What? Are you
Yeah, it's a
serious?
share capital 51 mil. Yeah, so see they barely raised any money. Wonder if I can get the prospectus to check that. So
That's what I'm
look,
looking at right now.
well, you found the prospectus already?
No, this is. I'm looking for it. Seeing this was 2014,
Mm,
fully subscribed. I'm not seeing the prospectus though.
Yeah.
I've gone JSE's website.
Yeah. So the earliest thing I see is basis of allotment.
Yeah, why can't I find the actual
It's
prospectus?
interesting.
And it's not on my money JA, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. So 2013 they came out the prospectus released. $5.11 per share.
It said Caesar, the company which operates as Knutsford Express, blah blah blah, said it raised the target amount of just under 100 million in exchange for the 20% share offer. Hmm. When you buy back shares, does that decrease share capital?
Mm,
Because then that could be why you see that 50 million instead of the
I don't
100
think so.
mil.
It's just something here.
Something to look up. And I guess that's one for the accountants. That's bigger than me right now.
Mm, mm.
Okay, cool. I need to actually look that up. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, buybacks actually shrink shareholders' equity.
But do they change share capital though?
Yeah. Isn't share
Shareholder
capital?
equity is different than shareholder capital. Equity is just liabilities, and you subtract the liabilities from the assets.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I'll look that up after.
Yeah, where?
Any more?
Yeah. Bro, there's so many stocks I actually like. I was just thinking of the ones that would get me like decent gains. Uh, let's check the list of all the stocks and see. I mean, there's some I can just think of that I really like. Hmm. I don't want to. I don't want to blurt out just a bunch of the ones I like. I want to actually pick something meaningful that I actually think is gonna increase in value. Maybe like, oh, Edufocal, Learn. Wow, I was actually looking at Learn recently. Um, the reason I like Learn so much right now, I like stocks that no one's talking about. Let's just say that. Like, I like those stocks where it's just under the radar. No one's like meds in them too much. Right, Learn listed last year, pretty fresh company on the junior market and so on. But they did something very interesting last year that I like. They borrowed a ton of money from Mayberry. They borrowed like 200 mil from Mayberry at a very attractive price, and it's fixed at 9.5% when I was metzing it. So the interest rate was 9.5% fixed for 2 years, from what I remember. I'm just wondering why would Mayberry just. I mean, yeah, it's in their best interest to give them good debt and so on, because they're a big shareholder in the company. But at the same time, how come we've heard nothing else after that? Like, they got the money. I'm not sure when they got the money. Let me see when they got the money. But you get some funds, you get 200 mil, and they haven't said anything after that. They've been quiet. They've been a bit too quiet. So in my head, something and a something. Like, I think they're actually working towards a possible acquisition.
Mm.
Right? They did one last year. They acquired a clever school
So
teacher.
why are you
Is
saying that
it
you think they're gonna
K
do the
one?
acquisition possibly?
Well, why else do you need 200 mil? Right, in their kind
They
of
actually
business.
said they in the notice. Did they say what some of the things they were looking to do with the money?
No, not at all. I don't recall seeing anything. They could have, but I don't recall seeing that at all. And my thing is, Gordon, I remember he was on a Mayberry Investor Forum, and he was talking about his cradle to grave approach, and he was saying that he wants it's
But he said it on
training,
the
it's
Mayberry forum.
education. I'm pretty sure he said it. He said I know he said it. Let me.
They actually do say it. They say the proceeds from the loan facility will be used to pay
Mhm.
related party debt, refinance some loans, and for, well, the vague part is working capital and expansion purposes.
Ah, yes, I did read that. Wow, how did I forget that? Yeah, working capital and expansion purposes. But in my opinion, so you're they bought a SaaS, a software as a service company, which is just strictly K1. They do PEP right now. What could possibly be their next step? CSEC, Cape, right? They could acquire other companies because I mean they do a lot of different training. They do a partnership with I think BCIC and Transport Authority where PPV drivers that whenever they have to renew their license, I believe, as a PPV driver or something like that, they have to do it through their
Mhm.
platform, right? So I know he wants to train, like it's training for various skills. He's talking about training nurses as well, right? And so I know it's training and so on, but I feel like the next big step is definitely something within CSEC or Cape.
Mhm.
That's just what I feel.
Mhm.
And I mean, he has partnerships with. I mean, he works with government, with Ministry of Education, right? So I feel like that's the next big thing. And I mean, 200 mil isn't a lot per se, but they also spoke about how much I paid for Clever School Teacher. From what I remember, it was around. I'm gonna have to probably put all these articles and find all these articles, but I think it was like a quarter mil US. From what? Let me see if I can find it. It's about quarter mil
Mhm.
US, and they paid for Clever School Teacher. That was for that acquisition. So if they have 200 mil JMD, they could do a pretty sizable acquisition if all those other things, as you said, refinance debt and so on, don't cost as much money.
Mhm.
So we'll see. I don't think they're gonna sit down on that 200 mil. I think at some point during this year, you're gonna hear something big. So I'm looking for something big.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Any predictions on?
Anything else you like? Oh, well, the prediction would come with the possible acquisition announcement, or it would come with that's something. I'd have to see something more to give a more accurate prediction. I don't know. Did you predict? Not what you said 20.
Um, I don't think I
You
actually
said
said a price.
yeah.
Um, but I
what do you
mean,
think?
if the right things happen, could be. Wouldn't be surprised
Hmm.
seeing it at maybe 15, 20, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, such a widespread 15, 20, but okay, fair, fair, fair.
Let's say okay, at least 15
I
then.
don't
At
know.
least 15.
Okay. Wonder what platform offers. I should actually do some more research to see what platforms offer, CSEC and Cape level things to see if 200 mil is in the ballpark range of an acquisition for them. I don't know. That's something I need to giving myself homework. Yeah, I need to write that down. Yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, Edufocal has partnered with Jamaica Library Service. I feel like all of these different things they must come together at some
Mm.
point, right? Because even with the partnership with the JLS, imagine if they do acquire um, a company that teaches CSEC or CAPE or so on, and then drops it on that. You know how many students drops it? Meaning, when I said drops it on that, like how the Jamaica Library Service is basically their location. It's a network of locations, and Edifocal can offer all their courses, all of those
Mhm.
things on the computers that are there. So imagine now you have uh, it's not only like maybe not K1 would be at the libraries. Maybe some people, but maybe not a lot. But where can you get a lot of people? A lot of high school students. That's a lot of people that can go to the JLS and use Edufocal's platform if they don't have it like that opportunity at home on their own laptops and so on. So I feel like the synergies are there, the possible synergies are
Mm.
there. So it's possible. We'll see.
Mm. Okay.
But that could also be, as you said, the lie I want to believe. I could just not acquire anything with that 200 mil. I just think it's a hefty amount for a company their size.
Mm.
So yeah. All right, Preston. Which company do you think
Mm.
would do a 180 this year? Like have a turnaround, a complete turnaround in stock price?
Mm. Um, mm. I might actually say jam tea, Jamaican teas.
Okay, okay. I liking it. I liking it.
It'd have to actually be summer. I
Wow.
mean, the summer that this yo, this better be a dang good summer, yo.
Right. I mean, they gave us some timelines again,
Yeah, we can trust it.
so we'll
I mean,
see.
the thing is, I said they gave a reason for why it was delayed before, so
Oh, drop the. Are you talking about the rights to Tetley?
hmm they're
Tetley
basically
tea?
saying that like
We should.
because Tetley isn't really like well Tetley like is a big company in like other countries and stuff. It's not how I think it's like they own the rights to the Tetley. Is it within Jamaica or within the Caribbean? So it's like they were
Mm,
saying, I think that because of the something with Tetley, and it's like them wanting to do the spin off. I guess we should explain to people like what we're talking about because so not everyone might know, right? Jamaican
mm-hmm,
teas. For those that don't know, so I guess a lot of people probably know Caribbean Dreams teas and stuff like that, right? Or Tetley teas. So basically, Jamaican teas, what they have been saying and stuff like that is that yeah, wait, let me actually look it up. Yeah, I see Tetley UK. So I think they're actually at
mm,
yeah, United Kingdom or whatever. But basically, Jamaican teas, they have their different ways to make money. They basically manufacture things like that, soups, spices, teas, manufacture and
mm-hmm.
distribute. Then they also have like their
Have real estate.
investment portfolio. They invest mainly in the Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
Stock Exchange or the US, I don't know if it's Nasdaq or the New York Stock Exchange, one of them. And then they have their
That's
yeah
QWI,
QWI,
by the way.
and then they
Mm-hmm.
have the real estate arm was at my Food and Sons, and then I think the last property they
Mm-hmm.
spoke about doing was the one by what's it called? Manor
Uh,
Park or no, not Manor Park.
no, it was after Manor Park,
What's the
man.
name?
It's
Belvedere,
not
Belvedere, I
Belvedere.
think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's Belvedere.
I could be wrong. I think
I think it's
it's
Belvedere.
somewhere like close to Ligonier
I
or
remember actually
Barbican.
seeing the properties on Belvedere Road,
I can't
Kingston
really
9. They
remember.
did 25 units. So like so that's the different ways
Mm,
to make money. But what they're saying is that what they want to do is basically they want to split their just they okay, so we spoke about the investment arm, which was QWI, right? They listed
mm-hmm,
that investment arm, they sold a part of that business to us, the public, was it 2019, and they raised money for that company and then used that money to like grow the company. So basically what they want to do now is do a similar thing with the manufacturing arm, and they're going to call that Caribbean Dreams Foods. um, and so that's going to be doing the same teas and stuff like that. And what they're going to do is they're likely going to sell like I think articles have spoken about it, like I think they're going to sell at least 20% of the business. um,
mm-hmm,
and they're going to raise money for that manufacturing arm, so you can own just the manufacturing arm. So right now your choice with Jam Teas and that group is that you can own Jamaican Teas, which owns all the different companies, or you can own just the investment portfolio. But the thing is, if you look at it, the investment portfolio for Jamaican Teas hasn't been doing well, um, in
mm. And you
terms,
can see it in QWI stock
yeah,
price.
like their portfolio isn't doing well. So it's like, imagine the manufacturing side of the business could be doing well, but if the stock portfolio is
Mm-hmm,
doing really poorly, the overall company is doing very poorly in terms of profits because like so then if say you want to be
Mm.
someone,
Look at the NAV, bro. The
this
NAV
is a nav.
currently
What's
for
nav?
their $1.90 in net asset
Oh, like
value.
how? Mm-hmm.
Um, no, basically it's just it's assets minus liabilities. So it's basically what the company's. It's like a valuation for the
Mm-hmm.
company, right? And when you look at it, it's $1.19. When I remember QWI coming to market in 2019, their NAV was it
Like
$1.40,
41 or
$1.35?
let me see.
I don't remember.
Or was it
Somewhere between
150?
one
Hold on.
dollar. It was somewhere there. So it's now trading below that. So
The nav, hold on,
what's that?
wow.
Four
So the
years
nav,
later.
so I'll probably put this the nav, the 31st of July 2019 was $1.52.
Mm.
Wow. Like I feel like hold on, I want to try to explain that to people. Like that's basically saying let me work this out.
It's basically saying the fund, the assets were worth. So they invest in stocks, right? They invest in companies on the Jamaican market and the U.S. market. They're basically
Mhm.
saying that the investment at the time, you
So
said
their
$1.50
portfolio,
what
basically their stock portfolio is down 23
has gone
20. It
down.
has been down 23%.
Hmm.
Like for the last, and if you look at it, that's
From
from
2019.
yeah, and that's well, this is mid 2019. We're into 2023. So 2020,
Hmm.
2021, 2022, for 4 years, their portfolio has been down.
Hmm.
Has there even been a point where they've passed that? I don't think has the NAV ever
I don't
passed
think
that.
so.
Let me see.
I know the NAV went
The
to maybe
highest I see,
140 at one point.
the the highest NAV I see is like, oh no, technically, I see February last year, I see the NAV at $1.56. So it
Oh, okay.
technically did, I guess, pass it, but you realize that like their portfolio for the last 4 years has been down over 20%. So yeah, you can say
Hmm.
things like COVID and oh the market is down, other stuff, but that's tough. And you meant like look at some of their holdings to like
Yeah.
GK. That GK drop has been hitting them heavily. Isn't GK like their heaviest
Hmm.
holding or their heaviest? Is it? Trying to remember.
Uh, I haven't looked at our report in a
I feel
little
like it's
bit.
their heaviest holding. Wow. Let me see.
They own a lot of
But
companies,
like the
bro.
main one, so no, Access is their heaviest
Hmm.
holding by
Access.
dollar
Yeah.
value.
How did I forget about
With
that? Yeah.
242
Yeah.
million.
No.
And then CPJ, well, this is at September last year. CPJ was $175 million, and then GK was 139. So
Mm,
their portfolio has been taking a
that's rough.
heavy hit. All of these years, they still have
Beaten.
not been able to recover. I mean, I guess they'll say, oh, they're long term, but wow. Like you realize that as much as Jamaican teas, the manufacturing side may have grown and whatnot, that investment portfolio, if
Hmm.
that doesn't, suppose for the next 5 years, it continues to be that way. Suppose in year 10 it's good, but for the 5 years right now, the portfolio just tanks and it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. Someone who like, well, there's, well, I think the reasoning they've said, like, I don't know if it was like John Jackson or John Mafu, they're saying that they think that some investors would rather just own. To me, it's almost like saying, yo, there's some investors who like, they don't want to hold a bag with QWI. They'd rather like separate it and just get the manufacturer inside.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
so basically, as we said, they're going to sell a piece of that business to the public.
Hmm.
But the reason that we are saying that it could be actually, pretty interesting is that they can give a benefit to Jamaican tea shareholders. So in the past, for example, like with the QWI, they actually did give a benefit to, um, so they gave a benefit to Jamaican tea shareholders. So they
The Jam
said,
Tea
okay,
shareholders.
you can actually, I think it was a discount. Let's see if we
Hmm.
can find.
$1.25. And I think the general price for everybody I think was
Mhm,
$1.35. But if you're a Jam Tea shareholder, you could buy in at
mhm.
$1.25. And I remember Jam Tea's share price, like it
Skyrocketed.
spiked.
Yeah, because I remember
Yeah, it
looking back at
literally
it
skyrocketed.
recently, like, uh,
Because if you owned even just a
so, and
few
then,
shares, you could apply for
yeah,
that
and then
discount.
the interesting part is it's all about how they do it. So there's different ways they could do it,
Hmm.
but like
Several ways.
if they do it right and they make the record date, like very short, so they're not giving you necessarily a lot of time to qualify. They do it
Mm-hmm.
a very short period. Like I think with QWI, I think it was 3 days. You know, you saw like a wicked run
Mm-hmm.
up in the price because the prospectus was announced after the market.
But
Hmm?
you're assuming they do a
Yeah,
discount. That's if they take
yeah, yeah.
that the
Like a
discount
different ways
route.
they can do
Yeah.
it. But if for
Mm-hmm.
example they do it the discount route, September 20 after the market closed September 9th, 2019, like the day that's what the date the prospectus for QWI came out. So that's when investors found out, wait, if I buy JAMT, I can get this discount. Closing price was like
Mm-hmm.
$6.20. The next day it closed at $7. The day after that, $7.93. So it shot up and it went as high to as $9 within that time. Went from
Mm.
$6, six low to $9.
Went up
Yeah, very
50% in a couple
yeah.
days.
So
Yeah.
the only thing is, um, like the risk, like suppose they delay it again. But I mean, that's the risk. That's the game you
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
That is the game you play. Mm.
We spoke about other ways they could do it, like a dividend in specie,
Mhm.
where if you own JAMT, you could be paid a dividend, but instead of being paid money, you'd be paid in shares of the new company, which is Caribbean Dreams
Mhm.
Foods. There's several ways I can
You can
spin
look
it,
back at
yo.
previous examples too.
Several. Mm-hmm. MILMJE and how that played out. Um,
Blue Power and Lumbo.
Blue Power Lumbo.
We should give
Mm-hmm.
some people some homework here. We
Mm-hmm.
can't just tell everything. Spell it out for all of them.
Facts, 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 facts. But yeah, there are different ways they could do it. So if they do it right,
Hmm.
trouble.
Hmm.
Yeah. Any other companies you like? I feel like we've gone through a
Yeah,
lot
and
of
it's getting
companies
late.
still.
It's getting late, you
Yeah, what
know.
time is it? It's like it's after
Yeah, I was
10
not expecting to be up this to be doing this late.
on a Monday night. Oh gosh.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we've spoken about quite a few. I don't like long stocks to watch lists, I guess, or so on, because it's like you could list 20, and if you hit 5 you feel good, but I want to hit like the right amounts. Like I want to say, yo, we picked 3, or I don't know how many we picked, but we picked like 3 and we say, yo, confident in these 3 still. um
Hmm.
I don't know, that's just me still. I mean, we listed what, Nutsford, JFP, Dollar,
Hmm.
Edifocal, RPL,
Hmm.
Jamty was the turnaround.
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many other companies I could talk about. Could talk about Tropical. Could talk about Fesco. Could talk about so many companies. But I feel like we could leave it right here. Maybe that's for another episode. Can't give the people everything in one episode. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for always supporting us. Hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube for sure. That would really help us. We would really appreciate it. And yeah, you can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, limitless_pod. Yeah. And it was really good talking to you guys.
Peace out. Stay investing, guys.
Always.